Talk about the interview that Chris Fucker, the never Trump Democrat, just did with President Trump on Fox News and talk about why most of that was unfair, it was unjust, and it was using malicious lying stats. As you can see, Patriot Cynthia here says John Hopkins is not releasing accurate information. That's correct. John Hopkins lied. The CDC lied. The World Health Government Organization lied. Florida reported June numbers as one-day July totals. Now, why'd that happen? The numbers were counted twice. 1 becomes 2, folks. 2 becomes 4. 8 becomes 16. You see how it becomes a problem? Probables are counted as positives. Folks, everyone has a probable case of HIV if your immune system goes down. That doesn't mean we have that number of HIV cases. Antibiotics tests, just giving people medicine, was counted as a positive. If you've ever taken something that boosts your immune system, you eat an orange in the morning with vitamin C, are you a probable case of HIV? I don't think so. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. No negative cases were reported in Florida. So it's a pregnancy test now, and there's no false positives. No negatives. It's just, you take it, you're pregnant. Interesting. Very interesting. So I just want to show you exactly the kind of studious manipulations that Fox News is going through to make our president look bad.
7th highest mortality rate in the world.
We have the highest population.
Our mortality rate is higher than Brazil. It's higher than Russia.
So what?
And the European Union has us.
We have more people than Brazil and Russia.
Travel ban.
Yeah, I think what we'll do, well, we have them on a travel ban too, Chris. I closed them off. If you remember, I was the one that did the European Union very early. But when you talk about mortality rates, I think it's the opposite. I think we have one of the lowest mortality rates in the world.
It is true. It is true. Stop. It is true. We do have one of the lowest mortality rates. 130,000, and then there's 600,000 alleged deaths. So where did the other 470,000 deaths come from? Interesting how you can have only a quarter and have the most. Who has 3/4? Answer that, Chris. Oh, he won't, because that's not what he's in for. He doesn't care about the truth or the math of the situation.
On a single day.
We will take a look.
This week.
Ready?
You can check it out.
Could you please get me the mortality rate?
Yeah.
Kaylee's right here. I heard we had one of the lowest, maybe the lowest mortality rate anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Do you have the numbers, please? Because I heard we had the best mortality rate.
The case rate of similarly situated countries, as Dr. Burks points out, and this is
Number one low mortality rate.
Number one, and right on the paper, says so, right on the facts. Chris Wallace just destroyed by statistics.
I hope you show.
How will he wiggle out of this one and try to convince everyone to vote for Joe Biden, folks? Will he do it?
Because it shows what fake news is all about. Okay, go
I don't
ahead.
think I'm fake news, but
Okay.
we'll put our
You're fake news now, buddy.
we'll put our stats
You
on.
said we had the worst mortality rate in the world,
I
and we
said
have
you
the
had
best.
the
All right, it's a little complicated, but bear
Ah,
with us.
yes, he has
We
to
went with-
edit in more statistics to prove himself. We aren't even going to look at that part because you know what? If you didn't want to have to issue corrections after the fact, you should have had the facts right from the start.
About illegal aliens pouring.
I look forward to seeing that. Meanwhile, the George Floyd murder has
He was a criminal.
reignited the issue of racism in policing in this country. I want to give you a couple of statistics. Nationwide, blacks are twice as likely.
That's because they're twice as likely or more to do crime. Oh, go figure. Maybe if you did less crime, you would not be shot as much.
You were an absolute.
This is also created by sociologists who do not get the data. They just interpret it. So sociologists coming from liberal institutions like colleges have an incentive to say that it was because of racism and not just look at the hard numbers like statisticians do.
numbers, but in terms of per capita, blacks are twice as likely to be shot and killed by police as whites are. In Minneapolis, over the last 5 years, police used force against blacks at a rate 7 times.
Am I supposed to feel bad? What does that mean? What does that mean? Nobody knows what that means.
That against whites. Can you understand why blacks would be angry at that?
I'm sure they would be. I mean, if you showed white people being killed a lot for doing a lot of crime, I might be like, whoa, what are we doing wrong as a people? But that's not what they do. It's not what they do. Nope, they blame the president who has nothing to do with the police.
They do. Of course they do. Many whites are killed also. You
I
have to say
understand
that.
True.
Many whites are killed.
Very
I hate
true.
to sound, but this is going on for decades. This is going on for a long time, long before I got here. You know, if you look at what's gone on in Portland, those are anarchists, and we've taken a very tough
They're
stand.
anarchists, and
If we didn't
they're
take-
anti-government, and they're dangerous, and they are dissidents. And what's happening has to happen. We have to quell this violence, this destruction in Portland. People are afraid, and you've got to do something about that.
Portland, you know, we've arrested many of these leaders. If we didn't take that stand, right now you would
Look at that. They're ruining that building. We won't. Your mom. This doesn't even make sense, folks. It's not even good graffiti. It all looks like garbage crap. And they should be thrown in a fucking jail cell.
have a problem like they were going to lose Portland. So let's see.
Portland's going to secede from America, luckily, hopefully, soon. I've heard stories about that. I saw them on my my Facebook timeline. I've went through it and I saw that. And well, what all I can say is that hopefully it happens, folks, because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this crap. I'm sick of Fox News lying on my president, insulting him. Chris Wallace is a known never-Trumper Democrat rat, and I hope that he gets what's coming to him, and he gets fired and rebuked as the shame of journalism. We're only going to do one more segment because I have things to do.
My mother, I have a mother who was like a saint. She was incredible.
She's a lovely mother.
She was an incredible woman, and she was nasty even to my mother. She's a
That's
very
horrible.
scarred person. She was not much of a family person. But look, let me
People
just
are
tell you,
attacking his
my
mother.
father was,
That is
I think
so
he was the most solid
sick.
person I've ever met. And he was
His father was
very
a
good
solid
He
person,
was a
too.
very, very good person. He was strong, but he was good. For her
Strong.
to say the kind of things, a psychopath, that he was a psychopath, anybody that
He's
knew
not a
Fred Trump
psychopath.
would call him a psychopath.
He's not a psychopath. He's not a psychopath.